better option, because if Alistar goes in, you better hope you finish the fight, or you're not walking away from the bomb later on. So it makes that trade very risky. It makes Frank Esports almost have to know where Viego is on the map before they can commit to a bot lane trade.
Yeah, I do like that everybody on Frank has got a dash, right? You know, when you think about it, the Tristana, of course, don't be fooled by the rocket jump. She's not actually going up as designed by the code, because you can just get yoinked in by things like the Thresh Hook. You got a lot of good gap closes, a lot of good all-in potential here from the Frank Esports side. This is a team that has very much improved on their team fighting in this split. The coordination is there. No longer the ragtag group brought together at the final hour. We'll see if they can etch another win in the column, or if Meta Falcon team can find a victory against a top 6 squad.
We're going to get some shenanigans starting off. Usually, the team with Braum does like to do level 1 engages, and Gracchus is a surprisingly good champion in level 1s. So Frank Esports are doing their due diligence here. They're stacking up, making sure they don't get taken advantage of. And on the other side for MFD, it seems like a rather chill game plan coming in from them. Oh no! Just as I say that issue, don't go.
I do want to talk a little bit about some of the summoner choices, because Whale has eschewed the heal or cleanse and instead gone for Ghost. So they really want to get that extra move speed going.
Yeah, we actually have been seeing a lot of Ghost coming in through the Sivir. It just makes her 5v5 team fighting a little better, because she can now walk away from fighters. Good find there by Taco early on.
Yeah, it's nice. It's still bold, but it definitely works out in those situations as we see everything else around the board. Starting off, YSKM and Taco up in the top. So, well, MFT will be bot focused. You have to think Frank are probably going to want to try and snowball YSKM.
Absolutely. I feel like in this matchup, the two sides where they're going for is quite obvious here. Frank Esports heading to the top lane. And for MFT, their best bet is to snowball Wen, or to take Wen out of lane and then snowball the bottom side in Whale here. And we just saw, YSKM with another good trade.
Already off to a great start. And this rookie player has just had such an incredible performance so far. It comes in, plays Jax, he plays Camille, he plays Fiora, he plays Aurelia. Like, he's barely played champions that we would consider like the base standard. He does not play tank champions as far as we've seen, because he hasn't had to, and because that's not the identity that this team is building. They have a aggressive side lane threat, and I think all the other top laners in this league have had to take notice.
For sure. YSKM trading so well between these turret shots right here. Some high-level trading tips
there we go.
For all of you out there. The big question for me, for Frank Esports going into the postseason, is how they adapt to the patch, because they haven't been the strongest of 2v2 matchups here, and 12.14 is going to be a bottom side focused patch. I feel like Frank need to think about how they want to actually play the map out. If they focus on the top side, sometimes it could actually be to their own detriment.
Yeah, if they over-index, for sure. You don't want to lose out everywhere else on the map. And speaking of, you do see that MFT have got a nice little push going down there in the bottom, but full game pretty close. You can see Whale going for that Cole to start things off, try and just get himself extra gold as it goes. Good combo out of carries, and we'll stop the push in its track. 665 down here on crab control. We'll see where he ends up making the first play. Level 4 on the Viego. Definitely a more passive Viego than somebody like a Kongye. But he does spot Holo out on Krug Camp. That's useful.
And does know that he has the open track onto Pretender. Just going to zone him out while he heads for the double scuttle play here. So MFT 665 off to a pretty good start. And this is what we've been seeing from a lot of Wukongs, is clear speed. Much slower on this patch. You know, you are paying a lot for that Cyclone. And MFT should be aware that, Wukong could be down here, so I don't think they're going to overcommit, and Karis does end up losing a lot of HP.
Yeah, it was a nice safe trade for Whale, right? He could just throw the Ricochet and the Boomerang Blade out and just make sure that, all right, I don't have to actually change my positioning. I've still got a decent range on these attacks. YSKM actually gets traded on pretty well by Taco there. Still struggling a little bit in the farm game, but has been able to grab a lot back for himself. So kudos to this first strike Gragas.
Now is getting up the CS pretty nicely right here. He had a couple of good trades. I think the important thing is that he's just faking out YSKM on some of these, going forward and actually getting the body slam during the Q, which
Here comes Holo.
YSCam, didn't anticipate. The Taco is in a rough spot here now.
Yeah, he doesn't know it yet, although that ward might come in handy as he steps up, trying to pressure on YSKM. I think for both these teams too, this game's gonna be very interesting, right? Like Frank Esports in terms of the standings, they're sitting at 10-6 right now. They, in theory, could move up. So this game is very, very important to try and break up into the higher edge of the bracket. But of course, J-Team having won already today is going to make that harder. For Meta Falcon team, the best they can really do is 7th. And I don't think that's really going to matter to them. I think it's really just about ironing out the bugs, the kinks that they've had, getting ready for playoffs, because it's going to be on them to prove that they're better than the last seed, if you will.
That's why I think they are running Wen today, is just to try out how far he can go. I think everyone pretty much can tell Home2 is likely the player that they're going to commit to in the postseason. We saw some great Silas play for him. MFT doing a small invade. Don't think much is going to come out of it. And yeah, I just want to finish up your point right there, is that if you're starting on the lower bracket, you can't really decide who drops down from the upper bracket anyway. So I think you can make a great observation that for MFT, this game is really about testing things rather than so much about the actual implications on standings.
Yeah, and that does mean a little bit of pressure's off, right? So if you lose this game, you're not favored necessarily. You can kind of just try and play for the best that you've strategized for here. As Dragon has started off, MFT, they have the inside track. Frank gonna try and collapse on this. Let's see if they can get the smite down before it all happens. Pretender steals the ultimate. Here comes Carries. There's the combo. They do take the Dragon. It's actually stolen by Holo and Frank. They just smell an opportunity and immediately get cooking. 1 Dragon, 1 kill over to them.
Beautiful chase down coming in from this side, and I think the target selection here was beautiful as well, because they go for 665 right off the bat. That's the champion you want to focus, because he's the one with the most impactful resets there. Good target focus. They go in with the Alistar. MFT can't really respond to the Alistar. They have to wait until the rest of the members come up. Just get massively punished. And yeah, I feel like this changes the bot lane the most here, as we do see Eminem already off to a good CS start. We're gonna watch this again. Carries preemptively charges up onto the E, goes in, gets the stun. They get the reset on 665, the most important member in these early team fights, and they also find the Drake there as well.
Yeah, and taking him out first means that they don't have the smite. MFT, they were inches away from getting it, but really nice play. Carries, we have talked about as a player that, sometimes hasn't always been on the same page. This time, he sets it up brilliantly with the headbutt pulverized combo into the flash as well. That's how you play an Alistar. And Frank were just so good in that skirmish. It's something they've really, really developed over the course of the split. The objective fighting.
I just feel like it's so funny that today all the highlight support plays have come from people that did not start their careers as supports. So, Karis
fallbacks are okay too.
Yeah, he used to play AD carry position, which is, much closer to support. I definitely feel like AD carries understand support probably the most compared to top laners or junglers. But it's an interesting trend that we see quite often in professional League of Legends. It's that support is very much about experience. A lot of it is about shot calling. It's less mechanically demanding in most situations. So we usually see, as the league develops, more and more sort of veteran players move over to the support role. Now we have Caspiel, K2, and Enzo all playing that way.
Yeah, and it's been good to see them really find a home on these squads, and especially when paired up with a lot of hot shot AD carries too. I mean, in Carries' case, it has Eminem, who has just an incredible upside, and I think being able to unleash that, being able to unlock that is very, very important. Not the only carry on the team, obviously Pretender and YSCam still making a very big claim to that role, but that's the nice thing a good support can do, is you can always try and snowball somebody. It doesn't have to be your lane partner. 665 is going in for a little bit more chicken stealing. And Frank Esports, they have the lead in this game so far based off that fight, but MFT are doing pretty good to rotate around the map, try and keep Holo down on the farm game, but they've not been able to find a kill back for themselves. Looking for it here, as 665 and Holo both going to be in mid lane soon.
I don't think either side knows that the jungler is here, so we could have a 2v2 as both sides try to bait the other to make a first move. Now Holo does show himself here, as they also suspect that 665 is around the corner. MFT going to be the one to roam up here first, and they do have more vision control. So I think the most important thing here for MFT is actually to find a fight where Alistar isn't in the front line. If Alistar is there, he can cancel out way too much from the combo. And I think MFT are doing the right thing here by just moving across and trying to catch them in a situation where Karis might still be in the bot side.
Yeah, MFT doing a pretty good job of moving around this map, trying to deny any Frank moves that could come through here. Ricochet going to be able to help clear that wave away. Of course, quite a lot of wave clear on both sides down in this bottom lane, actually, when you think about it. The Tristana explosive shot, that's going to be huge. Here comes Holo in for the lane as he wraps in. But with the back away of the Braum, I don't think Whale's going to be going aggressive anytime soon. So that's just going to get a reset. So many wards from MFT, by the way, to spot out just about everything Frank do in the outside of their own jungle there.
Yeah, and I think this is, quite necessary if you want to...
Ooh, Taco! All right. He's playing really good into this matchup.
Yeah, I'm actually honestly quite surprised that he's able to get this much done. Getting a lot of Qs onto YSKM here very unexpectedly. But I will say this is still a matchup where the further it goes, the more you expect the Fiora to eventually come out. It's not much you can do as the Gragas, especially AP Gragas, when Fiora is charging you down. So I think, MFT are playing on a bit of a timer. There's going to be a time where Fiora just becomes too difficult to deal with, and MFT do need to snowball this Ahri Viego combo.
That they do. Also, Dragon live again here. And a potential bot lane play could be coming through. 665 on this Viego. Waiting in the brush, but Eminem and Carey is playing pretty safe on the side. Both teams actually playing a little more cautiously in this game as they see the possibility for a fight not on their own terms, and they kind of just opt to back out. Frank have been winning the objective war, though, as they got that Herald, one charge down the mid, and of course the Dragon in the fight. Pretender, he does go in here, dodges the charm, nicely done when having a hard time dealing with them, as that Chain Lash comes out. Stolen the Spirit Rush, doesn't use it.
So something very important that just happened was we did have YSKM going straight back to lane. So it looks like Frank Esports are content with just holding onto the lanes and only reacting to objectives when MFT goes for them. I think this is actually quite a smart move. If they go in preemptively, it's much easier for MFT to find the team fight of their choice here. And it does give YSKM obviously more time to just kind of farm out and get that monster Fiora status.
Yeah, I think Frank know that they have time on their side. They can just play around with it. Mythic complete, of course. You got that Divine Sunder coming through already. YSKM, it does feel like it's only a matter of time before he starts to try and make those plays. And there goes the grand challenge into the riposte. And yeah, Taco knows his days may be numbered. YSKM going forward, and he pops the Fat Man. Now MFT going to try and get a Dragon off the back of this.
Three-man.
Smite down, but the headbutt hold combo. Exhaust on Holo, but it's not going to slow him down as the rest of MFT come way too late to try and make the play when Whale scattered. And Frank Esports, 3 kills unanswered across the map. Dragon does go to Meta Falcon team, but that's a consolation prize.
I feel like that I was getting deja vu. MFT, once again, with their positioning, give Alistar such a good engage. Everyone gets knocked up. We have Pretender closing up from the top side as well. And I just feel like Frank Esports read them like a book. They're waiting for MFT to go into the Dragon Pit themselves, start it themselves, pull them out of position. And this is not the strength of MFT. MFT do not have good opportunities just front to back. We will watch this YSKM play. Of course, it did start with Taco missing both abilities right here. That was what I was talking about in the Fiora versus Dragons match. Very easy for Fiora to actually just cancel out the ultimate. And just watch this one. MFT, what they need to understand is with the composition they have, their best win scenario is not front-to-back team fight in front of River. They actually want to catch people as they funnel into River. They have to, the way they should be playing is hard push through mid and then try to transfer to bot. I think that's a much better strategy. Instead, both times when they have grouped up in front of the Drake, they have given carries dream opportunities for engages.
Oh yeah, YSKM, speaking of dream opportunities, I think he sees another chance there.
Oh,
immediately.
no.
1, 2, 3, 4. Taco, he throws at the big barrel. YSKM dodges to the edge of it and doesn't get the kill this time. But he certainly scares the living daylights out of his opponent. And I think we are in for a YSKM storm coming up soon.
It was bound to happen, but you gotta love how cleanly YSKM played that. He dodged the W, he dodged the E, he wasn't touched by the R coming in from Taco. So, I don't know what to tell you, but Taco essentially is playing with one ability against YSKM, against the 4.
Okay, good stun up into the wall, but YSKM, he's able to dodge out from taking too many more dashes back in once again. Whew, man, gotta watch those vitals proc, and yeah, he just is so brilliant watching this guy play. Holo getting that uncontested Rift Herald does mean they probably will just go ahead and take this tower.
What I think MFT needs to
Wait a
do.
minute.
Oh, well.
Whoa, I thought we were getting full on in, but they don't full send it. They go back. Nice combo there. The headbutt pull this time onto Issue. Tower drops up top, and with the Holo's help, that's going to be all she wrote. 665 coming down to the bottom, but yeah, Clement, I think, yeah, Taco's, he's having a hard time, and as we were expecting.
Yeah, I think the play that MFT should have gone for was they should have preemptively roamed Taco to the bot lane for a big Drake fight earlier rather than later. Because, you know, losing to a Furo like this, it doesn't really matter about the ID. It doesn't really matter about how well you play it on the side of Gragas. This is almost bound to happen.
Uh-oh, heartbreak. He moves out. Okay,
It's out.
does get away. Carries has been hunting. I think he saw what Enzo was doing last time and said, you know what? I can also be a fantastic role swap support.
Absolutely.
Make those plays. Yeah, he's been a part of just about every one of them except the solos. Pretender earning a lot of kills himself this game on the Silas, and I do love that this 4-stack has been just so good while YSKM just continues to build it up because he can just become an insurmountable threat. Yeah, he's got the Tiamat already completed now, about 1,000 gold ahead himself. And even with the split dragons, it's an Ocean Rift. You get the extra. I don't think we're quite on the patch yet where you get the extra regen. I think that's 12-14. Correct me if I'm wrong. But all the same, still decently valuable for a squad that in these extended engages is going to just look better and better anyhow.
And they might not even need an extended engage. There's no one on MFT that can really survive the burst damage coming in from YSKM. So I feel like the window is very short for a comeback. MFT, they have to shove out top, have Taco just walk straight bot lane, find a big team fight win where Ari finally gets on the board. That is their win condition. It's very narrow. It's super difficult. And right now, I don't think YSKM is going to let Taco leave the lane. It almost feels like Taco might need to leverage his tower, just give up the tower in hopes to find a big team fight.
Yeah, MFT, you know, they're going to be running short on time as things go. We're 18 minutes into this game. They've not been able to find a kill. They've not been able to find a tower. Can't be a perfect game because at least they got that Drake, but still, Frank looking to set themselves up in this river. One of those other things about the Ocean Rift is you got so much more brush to work with. Which is very deadly for teams that don't want to face check. This?
MFT.
Oh dear. When taken low, taken out of half HP, the charm does land. Pretender doesn't even need to finish the play. They're just gonna chase him out. Meanwhile, what was happening down bot? Eminem was being chased down by 665 and Whale, but they're gone.
Interesting fight here because I feel like Whale actually went for that one. The place where the battle actually happened was far closer to Frank's tower than it was to MFT, so we'll wait for a replay on that one, but it does look like MFT tried to take advantage of the absence of Pretender and just got the fight turned around completely. So Frank Esports win everywhere on the map. They get mid, they get bot, they get the Drake, and MFT, you gotta group. You gotta group. You can't do this and just bleed out. So we'll watch this again. It does seem like it's Frank Esports were the one that started it, indeed. And it was actually Whale that was just knocked back. This was a chase down opportunity for 665, but he doesn't get it as Eminem is able to heal up throughout that one. Got the Phantom Dancer. No, sorry, you got the Kraken stack at the end there to get to just take 665 out of commission.
Yeah, man, talk about kicking a hornet's nest. Issue just sends the Winter's Bite into the brush, and immediately everyone jumps out ready to fight. Frank Esports 6 kills to 0 right now. MFT just have not been able to find an answer, and Another Rift Herald on top of that Dragon, also getting dropped now in the mid. 665 caught out. Holo chasing him out of his own jungle. The charge does go through. Almost get rid of it, but no dice. And for Frank, you know, it just keeps going from strength to strength, getting better and better. Keep in mind, the stakes for this team's win are a lot higher than MFT's. This is a team that's trying to crack into the top 4. It's not going to be easy, but they could do it.
Yeah, and the most wins they can get right now is 18, which to me says that they can't catch up to top 1, but they could still have a chance of going up to top 2. It's kind of crazy to think about that, but currently the most wins anyone has is 12, with PSG's loss earlier today to J Team. So, you know, still a lot of opportunities here. Frank Esports are able to claim both of these wins. They still leave that door open for a bye in the upper round.
Well, there we go. That's going to be a door closing on MFT right there in the mid. However, they've actually turned it around.
No.
Was caught for a second. He actually is going to drop. Then takes him out. He's on the board. That's the turnaround. Oh, man, I spoke too soon because 665 now taken over. Looking for Karius, who is not got a flash or anything, charmed up, and they carved themselves up a side of beef and immediately try to transition into the Baron. Pretender, I don't think he can stop it. Look at YSGM. He's still pushing on that tower, but he knows he's got to back away. That was an MFT turnaround. And all of a sudden, Clement, things are not so certain.
And that's the play I was talking about. Taco, if he joins these fights, he can swing a 5v4, but how many are they going to give to YSGM?
Into the charm, he buys a little time with that stopwatch whale getting chased away. They will have YSGM getting the kill off, but look at how low they are. And I think YSGM's just looking for cleanup duty. He finds one, looking for 2, has some help from Pretender. Oh boy, well MFT get the Baron.
Keep the Baron alive, keep the Baron
but
alive.
Only Taco lives. Woo.
If I'm the MF team, I'm actually decently happy with that result. You know, I got a couple of shutdowns. I made sure the Baron's not going over to the enemy team.
Yeah.
That's an okay win for me.
Yeah, they were very far behind, make no mistake. They get on the board. They do lose the Baron on everybody else, but you're absolutely right. They take away a crucial objective. There isn't going to be another one on the map for a little while. 2 minutes until the next dragon spawns. It's not even going to be soul, just soul point. So while Frank can just shred towers, that's the last of the inners. This was a great play by MFT.
Yeah, and it all came off the fact that Frank Esports, okay, they kind of overcommitted here. But the big thing is they thought that Taco was going to be in bot side. They just assumed that was the case, and Taco got a great play off right here. Canceling the jump in from Eminem. That's very difficult to time against Tristana. And then you have the chase down kills on Karius. This play here, I think it was, I actually feel like it could have been a faster TP coming in here from YSK. Yeah, YSK could definitely have TP'd a little bit earlier onto this one. But all the same, he comes in and he gets the triple cleanup kill now. On the map, we have NFT finally pushing in, trying to find a combo. As we're still watching
It's a long replay.
chase down.
Yeah. That tower dropped. That tower dropped in the whole replay. It's gone. MFT get on the board.
Good objective bounty coming in here. I want to take a look at the items and see if we have the kill threat here from MFT. A couple interesting buys here. Blade of the Ruined King is out for 665, so he understands that he needs potentially some damage. This is going to help him chase down the Tristana with the speed steal right here. But overall, I would say if Taco finds a very good knockback, like he knocks one target back into his own team and takes everyone from Frank Esports away from theirs, then there's a chance that MFT can get that first snowball kill.
Yeah, he's just started to group at this point. I think this is what they need because they need to force YSCam to not be on the side lanes to try and react. And Fiora's going to be much more comfortable when she's solo pushing. However, here's the 5v5. Dragon about to come up here. Frank securing that one. They can do it pretty quickly and get themselves onto soul point. Pretender steals the Gragas ultimate. And NFT are backing off. I don't know if they can fully contest this right now, but they do have all of their tools available. Ghost just about to come up for a whale, and that'll be pretty much every summoner.
They can try to catch someone out here, but Karius is not spotted.
It's going to be the big barrel. Karius is trying to get the interrupted issue forced away. Whale does stay alive. Here's the second win effort. Do they have enough on the MFT side? No, they get knocked up by the Cyclone into the exhaust. Doesn't matter. Do they have the damage? Eminem takes out issue. Right back into the fight looking for Taco. He's got that explosive charge on his head. Holo wants to find one more if he can, and he goes for the bop and does manage to pop the Gragas. So, the push-in Pretender now on the bottom side. Only Wen and Whale to try and defend, and I don't think that's going to end too well for him.
They should still be able to hold off this wave. Both of those champions have the wave clear. MFT actually were very close in that fight. I actually felt like there was probably overextended there. Wasn't a lot of follow-up and a good job by Taco to reset the fight. But at the end, Frank still just kind of smacked them with how tanky and how far ahead they actually were. They were able to survive the resets and take down Issue right here. So we'll watch this first. The first two ultimates going down here. Whale actually finds a good position to deal damage, and Frank Esports has to walk down into a choke here. But the key thing for me here is that Karis was actually able to re-engage on that one, and just how tanky Pretender was. Pretender with the Crown of the Shattered Queen, not dying off the initial burst, is able to help them just get back into position despite them taking a lot of damage from Whale.
Yeah, Pretender's been good this game for sure, and has himself a surprising amount of damage too. He does go into the Magi Soul Stealer, 10 stacks on that right now. I believe he just completed it off the Dark Seal. But yeah, like he's a threat. The Fiora's a threat. That's 2 4-4s. You don't often see 2 4-4s in the same game. I know it's just a number, but like, death's not found. MFT are going to have a hard time breaking through both of them, and not to mention, even Holo has been stepping it up, and he's got the Divine Sunder into the Chempunk Chainsword. There's a lot of damage coming out of this Frank lineup. It's not just Tristana.
So I think what we saw here from MFT is they almost need to use the explosive cast offensively. I think we see Taco grouping up here, and this is a good opportunity. They do find themselves a potential chance for a 5v4, but they split off to defend once more, and that's going to give Frank Esports a lot of time. I feel like the correct play here for MFT is you got to rush the top side. You got to take Taco there, get the explosive cast, get one reset, rush it in, and throw the hard decisions over to Frank Esports. They pull the trigger too late.
Yeah, I think they're just going to slowly watch their base get evaporated here. That's going to be another inhibitor. The last one, they're down to 2 Nexus turrets, not even at 100%. Trying to turtle it out. 27 minutes into this game, but Frank, they've got their eyes set on the prize, a better playoff seed if they can make it. This is going to be the last-ditch effort. Meta Falcon team, not going to have an opening, not going to have an opportunity. Baron's live in about 5 seconds. I think Frank can take this pretty much with impunity.
I would say that
we'll
this
be playing later today.
This is very safe play coming in from Frank. I wouldn't mind hanging around and just finishing off the game, but they know they have a shot at just getting tapped to in the PCS. So they're going to cross all their I's, dot all their I's, cross all their T's, get the Baron right here.
I mean, if you want to cross some I's and dot T's instead, like, who am I to judge? Handwriting, we use computers. We are a more advanced stage, Clement.
I got doctor's handwriting, so.
Oh, really? That's cool. I could never write cursive or read it, really.
Me neither. Been on the internet all my life.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, by the way, this is just this is holdover boomer stuff, so it's okay. Hopefully you never have to deal with it in your life. 28 minutes of the clock.
Yeah. We're going back. I just wonder how many of our viewers have actually changed ink on a pen. I almost think that.
Oh yeah, it might be going a little far. I feel like writing is still it does still happen, but I think cursive. I don't know. Tell us, chat. Have you ever had to learn cursive? Is it a thing where you are, when you are? I'd love to know. But one thing we will be doing and writing it out pretty soon, I think, will be the end of this game. Frank Esports looking to close things. They have such a massive gold lead. They have the Baron buff. They're going to teleport YSCam in.
Sorcerer Elixir being bought by Wen, so he's preparing for the magical comeback. This is it. MFT Miracle. Here we go.
They would need to. This is the last-ditch effort, trying to keep those waves clear. They do have a Sivir, so it isn't as bad as it could be. Frank Esports not presenting a target. Party cask stolen by Pretender. YSKM taking one tower shot. 665 goes in. They trade just a little bit, but Well, you gotta be careful. There's gonna be that barrel used and when gets knocked, but they actually are able to defend him as he rushes back to the fountain. But the Nexus turret is gonna go low here. Frank just methodical, getting the double knock up into Holo, and they're just gonna keep layering the CC on. But do they have the damage to finish it? Holo, his clone tanks all that deep, so they just don't have it. Eminem, he's able to hop away. Taco has to go gold, gonna get popped, and now it's MFT losing everything. Just under 30 minutes, they couldn't keep it together as Frank Esports closes.